Throughout the years of Friendship is Magic, we have seen quite a collection of unique and interesting villains, from Nightmare Moon in Season 1 to Tirek in Season 4. But you need to be very careful on how you perform these villains once they've seen the consequences of their actions, because this is not something that can easily happen in the blink of an eye. And there are two reformed villains who have caused easily one of the biggest flame wars in the fandom since Alicorn Princess Twilight. Those two being Sunset Shimmer and Starlight Glimmer. Who truly deserves that 7th spot among the main 6? Let's get ready to review! Let's start with Sunset Shimmer. Man, did every pony hate her when she was first introduced. At that time, Sunset was the most underdeveloped villain of the entire series to most fans, since all that we really knew about her was that she was a former student of Princess Celestia, who chose a different path because she didn't get what she wanted right away. That is unless you've read the Fall of Sunset Shimmer comic, where they expanded upon her backstory and character. And to top it all, we had no foreshadowing to her demon form shown in the climax of the first movie, and this only made fans hate Sunset even more. But then Rainbow Rocks came along, in which the goal was to redeem Sunset among our cast as well as the fandom. And while we weren't on board for the idea at first, her gradual reformation was executed extremely well, since Sunset knew that she couldn't change the past, but could change the future for the better. And her song at the end of the climax proved it. And how'd they follow this up? By having her be the star of Friendship Games to progress forward as a hero, as well as the leader of our main cast, in a brilliant role reversal with the human world's Twilight Sparkle, in order to save Twilight from making the same mistakes as Sunset did, as well as guiding her down the right path towards redemption, as we saw in Legend of Everfree, where Twilight was being haunted by her inner demons. For being one driven individual, Sunset Shimmer shows that her past does not define her, because her past is not today. And now we come to Starlight Glimmer, a reformed villain that has truly divided the fandom in half like never before, between those who enjoy her edition and those who can't stand her. Most of that stems back to her sudden reformation at the end of the Season 5 finale, after we had seen how insanely manipulative and unapologetically evil she had proven to be in the premiere, with two plans that were relatively successful, all while being snarky and witty and staying one step ahead of Twilight. But even then, that all stems back to her reasoning for enslaving an entire town to steal their cutie marks in the first place, as we find out in the finale where we saw that she had lost her childhood friend and was afraid to make any new ones since she blamed it on cutie marks. While some could relate with Starlight in terms of the concept of childhood trauma with losing a childhood friend, others were turned off because it felt rather childish of her, and what made it worse was that Starlight was willing to face the consequences of her actions, and yet she got off scot-free not once, but twice, thus giving her the nickname Sunset Shimmer 2.0 after what felt like a copy and paste routine. So when Season 6 came around, many of us weren't keen on how the show staff would handle her reformation. But as we soon saw, Starlight had proven herself to be a foil to Twilight Sparkle as her new teacher, to show her how far she's come since she became an Alicorn Princess, as well as demonstrate how a person or a pony's best self doesn't lie solely on their skills. That's not to say that she isn't perfect, as Starlight is seen to still struggle with not relying on her old methods, and it tends to affect those around her in a very personal way. Yet she has shown to be her own character with her own strengths and weaknesses, as well as facing unique challenges with episodes like stepping out of her comfort zone in every little thing she does, and being flexible within a group like To Where and Back Again. With a commander-type personality, only time will tell if Starlight Glimmer can go even further in becoming an ally among our cast. But now it's time to make a choice. Who do I believe truly has earned that 7th spot in the main 6? Well, you all know my answer. Sunset Shimmer. What makes Sunset Shimmer stand out more, in my opinion, is that fans were excited to see her reform, and they wanted her to reform, after Sunset had pretty much nothing to accomplish as a villain, and we could clearly see that her reformation would take time, all leading to a very feel-good payoff. But we also have to realize that not every villain in Friendship is Magic is going to have a turnaround, since villains can sometimes prove to be more interesting and complex than the heroes can, while still holding on to what made them great in the first place. Like anything in life, the reformation of a villain takes time, as there will always be that darker side that exists, and you just have to learn to deal with it. We're not fully good, or evil, or truly reformed. We are us. We make our own paths. And whether you're a former time-traveling cult leader, or bacon-haired future Alicorn Princess, every story is different. Make sure that it's a good one.